High school counselors. Today we're going to be talking about a taboo topic that it's very hard is what to do in case that I have to restrain a student. First of all, the first thing that I want to tell you is not something that we enjoy doing. It's something that breaks our heart and is our last resource in a situation where this behavior escalates to the point that the student is trying to harm himself or harm others, rather if it's adults or children or students or administrators or whoever it's in there or the parents. It is a last resource and you must be CPI certified in order to do that. Sometimes counselors like us, if you're not a counselor, if you're a teacher and you get involved in a situation like this breaks our heart. It's hard for all of us, I guess. It's hard for the parents, it's hard for the children, it's hard for the administrators, and it's hard for the counselors. We want to connect in a point where you bond with your student at a certain point where you don't have to do anything like that. But sometimes conditions, situations get to the point that the student escalate to a point that is really hard for them to de-escalate. The first thing, as I said before, and I want to touch bases with you in an order, we do not enjoy doing this. This breaks our heart. You need to be CPI certified. And it's hard to communicate to the parents what happened. When situations like that one happens, you need to contact the administrator or the SPED department. You need to ask for help right away. Remove all the other students out of the way from the classroom for safety purposes. Try to remove any sharp objects or big stuff like wood sticks or something that could be very heavy that the students can pick and throw and put someone else in danger. Ask for help as soon as you can. The other thing you need to do once the situation is over, you need to fill out a document explaining and describing what happened. The administrator must sign it. You need to have 3 copies, and you need to contact the parent same day right away after the incident. The parent needs to know what happened, why it happened, and who was involved. I'm not providing legal advice for you. Every district has their own protocol. They have their own protocol, so follow the district's policy and what they're supposed to do. Also, it depends if the protocol is almost the same, but also there's a few people that you may contact if the student is SPED or if the student is not special education. I try to talk to the student at all times. Even though sometimes it's not beneficial, sometimes you have to keep it quiet, but sometimes I will intervene. I breathe in, breathe out, let me know whenever you're ready, calm down, you need a sip of water. If the student is very hot, I try to say, hey, do you want me to take off your jacket? I trust you, don't hit me. I'm going to release you at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. If the student starts like punching, kicking, or doing another type of stuff, then it's time for you to restrain again. Sometimes you are like a backup person who happened to be there or who is coming to release the other person. The student gets very tired, but you get tired as well. They get this super strength out of the normal. They tend to bite or kick or tear the things out of everywhere like papers and so much more. Every child is different. Obviously, what we want is to prevent any type of uncomfortable situation like that one. Those are tough conversations. If you do it with a lot of love, some cases I had the parents come in and pick up the child after the incident. Sometimes I had to call and explain the situation, how it happened. Every case is different. It's heartbreaking. That's the only thing I wanted to say. Obviously, after the facts, the students are exhausted, and you're exhausted as well. It's a working process. Try to talk to the student. Try to find the triggers. What caused the situation? How can we prevent? What is going to be the strategy for the next time? Talk to the student afterwards. Whenever the situation de-escalate to the point that the student is no longer trying to harm himself or harm others, try to have a brief conversation with the parents and with him, like, hey, this cannot happen again. We appreciate you. We love you. We're here for you. But you cannot be harming yourself or trying to harm others. What are possible, like a safety plan that you can develop with the student, build that relationship, build that connection, put the situation in context, like step in someone else's shoes. If the student bites someone or punch or slap or did something to any other student or to a staff member or to yourself, how would you feel if someone does something like this to your mom, to your dad, to your sister? Trying to build a little bit of empathy and trying to discover ways and how to calm down and avoid this type of situations. Obviously, the strength of the student sometimes depends of the age. Obviously, if the student is in high school, so the situation may look a little bit different. Be mindful. Some of them get very aggressive to the point that they can throw chairs and objects. Some of them only will scream and cry or try to run away or escape the building, the classroom, or any other type of situation. They will punch, they will kick, they will bite. So it's very important that you get certified, and there's different programs. I cannot tell you which one is the right one or the wrong one. Usually the district may have someone in place to train their staff members. When you notice that the student is escalating, if you talk a lot to them, stop talking. And whenever you think it's time, start talking again. But sometimes talking can make it worse. So make sure whenever you talk to your administrators about this at the beginning of the school year or when a situation arises, make sure that everything is safe or looks safe for all of you. Remove the students out of the way, as I said before. Make sure that the student is not trying to harm himself, like banging the head against the wall, punching the wall, trying to choke himself or herself with something. Just be mindful of all those things. They tend to scream really loud and they get, like I said, like superpowers of strength, and that sometimes doesn't help. Don't forget that a colleague and you can stay there together in case that one of you is really tired. The other one can back up the other one or take turns. Asking your campus who is CPI certified, what can you do to get the certification. Don't forget to follow the protocol, call the parent right away, talk to the student afterwards, check in with the student for future days just to prevent that things like this happen. And who needs to be involved? You need to make sure if the student is from the SPED department that you have a plan in place. If the student is not SPED, also that could be a great conversation why this is happening, what we can do, how we can prevent, who will be, do I need a walkie-talkie, do I need how I'm going to contact the administrators, who will be there for me in case that something escalates. Those are very important questions. Like I said before, it's a tough topic. Let me know your questions. Let me know how can I help you. And I hope to see you soon. If you like this shirt, we're going to be selling that on Etsy. Don't forget about April 23rd. We're going to have a Zoom meeting with all of you, tips and tricks and hacks to start the new school year. For school counselors, I will be providing free resources and so much more. Subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell. If you think this video will be beneficial for another teacher, for another counselor, make sure that you share the video with them. Sending you love, hugs, and kisses, and I hope nothing like this happens. But in the world that we're living right now, depending of what school you're in, you may or may not encounter a situation like this one. Well, stay tuned and see you next time. Bye.